Australia has never done too well in the Winter Olympic Games. This is mostly due to Australia's lack of winter, the main prerequisite needed to practice for the, Winter Olympics. But that has never stopped them. And today I have a truly incredible story of how they won their first ever gold medal at the Winter Olympics. And it's one you'll find hard to believe. Salt Lake City, 2002, and nervous Stephen Bradbury lined up for the quarterfinal. And at the ripe age of 30, he was much older than all the other people he was competing against. Competing with him, Apolo Anto Ohano, American superstar and crowd favorite tipped to win the gold medal, and Mark Gannon of Canada, the current world speed skating champion. Out of the four, only two could go to the next round, and after the match the results were in. Bradbury third place. As most expected, it was clear that he was going home, until the judges suddenly declared Gannon disqualified from the race due to a technicality, and incredibly enough, Stephen was going into the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, it was noted that every single opponent he was up against had qualifying times much quicker than Bradbury, so it was an assumption that he would be going home after this round. His opponents had very impressive resumes too, with Kim Dong-sun of South Korea, 4-time world speed skating champion, Li Jian of China, a holder of 5 Olympic medals in speed skating already, and Matthew Turcot, Canadian. If you've ever watched a game of ice hockey, you'll know what I mean. During my research, I found that it was reported that even his coach told him to hang back from the pack, knowing he'd never be able to keep up with them. How's that for instilling confidence? And not long before arriving to Salt Lake City, he survived a near-fatal accident on the ice where he broke his neck. Nevertheless, here he was, and Stephen knew that sport isn't all about winning. So he lined up already knowing every single racer on the track was faster and younger than he was. The gunshot sounded, and the next thing you know, Stephen managed to qualify yet again, and he was going on to the finals. Only this time he actually finished first. As it turns out, following his coach's words, as motivating and as helpful as they were, actually won him first place. In classic hare and tortoise fashion, every single person on the track crashed, and it simply left Mr. Bradbury with nothing else left to do but finish the race in an orderly fashion. All bets were off. This man wasn't even supposed to make it past the first qualifier, and yet here he was about to face off against the world's elite at the Olympic Games final. In an unusual turn of events, he was racing against 4 other people instead of the normal 3, something that would later turn out to be detrimental. With him were Victor An, a man who went on to win the World Championship 6 times, Li Jian, 5-time Olympic gold medal winner, Apolo Ohano, arguably the single most decorated Winter Olympian of all time, and Matthew Turcot, still Canadian. They say there's no luck in sports, and it was safe to assume this man's hot streak was about to come to an abrupt end. And would you believe it? He won. He was coming last by a whole lap. The guy in front was coming out of the very last corner of the race before the finish line and crashed, bringing down everyone besides Mr. Bradbury. And he was actually so far behind everyone else, he missed the huge crash entirely. And our hero coasted over the finish line and into sporting history as a modern folk hero, earning Australia's first and only gold medal at the Winter Olympics. No one could believe it. This man actually received the highest honor in sporting history by simply being the only person not to fall over while skating around the ice. He immediately retired from speed skating, and pulling a Bradbury became another phrase in the Australian vocabulary. 18 years later, and he is now a motivational speaker who has toured the world teaching others about his last man standing mantra. What a guy.